All right, let's get into this. Today, we're taking a closer look at a really fascinating figure from the modern Arab intellectual scene, the Egyptian writer and thinker Mamdouh el-Sheikh.
But who is this guy, really? I mean, you look at his body of work, and the first thing that hits you is just how diverse it is. He's a political analyst, a published poet, a novelist, and get this, a curator of other people's lost works. So, how do all these different pieces even fit together?
So, let's start with the basics. Mamdouh el-Sheikh was born in Cairo back in 1967. And right away you see he's a writer and thinker whose career is so varied you just can't stick a single label on him. And honestly, that's exactly what makes him so interesting to talk about.
To really understand the man, let's start with the role he's probably best known for, that of a sharp, insightful analyst of political and religious issues. And when you look at the topics he tackles, wow, you see their weight immediately. We're not talking about light subjects here. El-Sheikh dives deep into these incredibly complex dynamics of Islamism versus secularism, the rise of Salafist movements, and even the tense relationship between Iran and Egypt. He is consistently analyzing the most critical issues shaping the modern Middle East and, really, the world.
And he doesn't just look at big, abstract movements. He studies the people behind them. He's written these really extensive profiles on major intellectual figures like the Egyptian judge and historian Tariq al-Bishri and the famous scholar Abd al-Wahhab al-Misri, digging into their ideas and the impact they've had on how people think today.
So you have this picture in your head, right? A serious academic, a political analyst. But what if I told you that the very same person has this completely different side, a creative, artistic side that feels like it's from another world entirely?
And that question brings us to this whole other side of Mamdouh el-Sheikh, the creative writer.
And let me tell you, this is not just some casual hobby. He's a prolific author. He's got multiple poetry collections, novels like Cairo, Beirut, Paris, and he's even written a play. He also writes poetry in colloquial Egyptian Arabic, which is amazing because it shows this deep connection to the language of the street, not just the language of academia.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly, right? The duality of this one mind. On one side, you have the analyst, breaking down these complex societal movements. And on the other, you have the creative, building entire worlds from scratch and exploring individual human emotion. It's a really rare and powerful combination. But the big question is, do these two worlds ever connect? Well, the answer might lie in a third, often overlooked role that he plays.
This brings us to a really fascinating and, I think, often forgotten part of his career. Mamdouh el-Sheikh as a curator, almost like a guardian of knowledge.
You see, he hasn't just been producing his own work. He's poured a ton of effort into bringing the important works of others to new audiences. He co-edited El-Masiri's massive 8-volume encyclopedia, he's verified and published classic poetry, and he's even prepared and introduced Arabic versions of Western authors like Dale Carnegie and classic Egyptian thinkers like Talat Harb. This kind of work has led some to say something really powerful about him, that he didn't just write history. In some cases, he literally rediscovered it, and there's one story that just perfectly captures what they mean.
Get this, he found a lost novel, Confessions of Hafez Naguib, a book that had pretty much faded into obscurity. El-Sheikh prepared it for publication, and this rediscovered work became the basis for a hugely popular Egyptian TV series called Night Without a Horse. I mean, that's a perfect example of his academic work having this direct, tangible impact on popular culture. It's amazing.
So when you step back and put it all together, the analyst, the artist, the curator, what kind of legacy starts to emerge? Well, it's one of remarkable breadth and, honestly, just sheer consistency.
I mean, just look at this timeline. You've got a book on dreams and history way back in the early 90s, then a play in 2000, a novel in 2006, that curatorial work in 2009, and then boom, a deep dive study on Saudi society in 2016. The output is just constant, and it's always evolving.
What this all really points to is a career of sustained, high-level intellectual production. This isn't just a flash in the pan. We're talking about a commitment to diverse forms of expression that spans more than 2 decades.
And, this work has not gone unnoticed. Not at all. He's a recognized figure, with his biography featured in some of the most prestigious literary and biographical dictionaries in the Arab world. That really cements his status as a significant contributor to modern Arab letters. Which leaves us with the final big question. In an age of hyper-specialization, where everyone's kind of in their own lane, what does a career like Mamdouh el-Sheikh's, one that moves so fluidly between political analysis, poetry, and historical rediscovery, what does that tell us about what it means to be a public intellectual today?
You know, maybe it suggests that to truly understand the world, you can't just analyze it. You also have to feel it, create with it, and preserve its history.